there, Alaskans, wherever you are. Welcome to the Must Read Alaska Show. Coming to you from somewhere in Alaska. This is the place where we talk about, you guessed it, Alaska. Where we keep the mainstream media on their toes and where we are standing up for what's right in a world run by leftists. You can find out more by heading over to mustreadalaska.com and also checking out the Must Read Alaska YouTube channel for some really great content. But first, let's get this party started.
Welcome, everybody, to the Must Read Alaska Show. I'm your host, John Quick, coming to you live from somewhere in Alaska. Even though I'm not in Alaska today physically, I'm there with my heart, and I think that we have got a special treat for you today. We have Lieutenant Governor Nancy Dahlstrom. She is steadfast in her work. We are so happy that she is our Lieutenant Governor. I think she's doing a phenomenal job. And without further ado, welcome to the Must Read Alaska Show, Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you very much. I'm always happy to be here with you. It's great.
Well, one of the awesome things that the governor has appointed you to is an energy task force. I know it's a lot bigger than what that name says. You are the chair of this task force, which is a very big responsibility. Alaska being, one of the number one energy producers in the whole world. You're chairing this task force for energy. Talk to us first about just kind of what is this task force and your role with it.
Well, it's an incredible group of people that the governor assembled together, and from all walks of life, and people that their one motivation, we all have the same motivation, and that is to come up with some low-cost energy solutions that will benefit Alaskans. The Energy Security Task Force, we were tasked with developing a comprehensive statewide plan, and that plan is evaluating the energy generation, the distribution, and the transmission for the state of Alaska and the communities. And this report is going to be delivered to the governor on December 1st of this year. And interesting that we're talking about it today, because tonight at 5 o'clock, we are taking public testimony again, or comments about the report. And if anybody would like more information on how to dial in, they could go to akenergyauthority.com.
Nice. And we'll put the link in the description, and
that would be great. I always feel like the more people that get involved, the better a product ends up being, because you try to cover all bases and everything. And one of the things that the report will show is that we have looked at different solutions for different parts of the state, because we know that what's good for, say, the coastal area might not be the answer for interior Alaska, or Southeast Alaska. And so we have taken all those things into consideration. The group broke up into subcommittees, and I am not even kidding you, John, when I tell you that if you look at all the subcommittees and the times that they have met, there's several thousand hours of meeting time.
Wow.
That's already happened. And these are all, they volunteered their time. Nobody's being paid. Everybody has, the right intent, serving Alaskans, and, just part of helping us to use our energy more effectively, efficiently, and coming up with ways to deliver it more cost effective to Alaskans. So I'm pretty proud to be associated with this group of good people.
Yeah, if folks look at the list, it's a laundry list of who's who in government sector, the private sector, people that volunteer in their community. And like you said, these are people that are coming together to help find long-term solutions, and they're volunteering their time. And I think there's something to be said about that, and the fact that the governor has created this. It's a very serious project. Is that a fair statement? It's
very serious, and I will tell you that it is a huge priority for the governor. It's and he met with the group when we kicked off the first meeting and spoke with everybody and expressed his just how serious this is. And so we got off to a real strong start, and we've kept it up.
Nice. So you've had several meetings. The report's due December 1st. Are you hopeful for Alaska's future as it relates to energy? Is there some gold at the end of this rainbow somewhere along the line?
I am very hopeful. Not only do we have just a very large amount of oil and gas resources in our state, but we have companies, and us as a state government have been looking at different renewable projects and ways we can grow those. We know that the renewables are not always 100%, reliable. So having the combination of all of these different things in play is what's going to allow us to give Alaska the options, that we need, again, depending on which area of the state that we're in. But I'm really hopeful about it.
Nice. So one of my questions last time we chatted was, are you enjoying being lieutenant governor? So I want to ask you that again, because I think that it's a big job. There's only 50 lieutenant governors in the whole United States. It's something to be very proud of, very big accomplishment in your career. You're well liked among your peers and conservatives in Alaska. How are you enjoying the job?
You know what? I think I have just one of the best jobs ever. And the reason is I get to work with Alaskans. I mean, just Alaskans all over the state. We are able to help solve some problems. I'm able to help the governor with different projects. With this being the first time the governor and lieutenant governor ran on the same ticket, things, changed up a little bit. And it's been really neat being able to work, hand in hand with him on projects, and then, being a part of helping to fulfill some of those. But it's given me an opportunity to be in various parts of the state. But the best part is Alaskan people. I mean, I feel like the honor is that I get to serve Alaskans.
That's awesome. So one of the big roles of the lieutenant governor, as probably most of our listeners know, and if they don't know, is the elections. Talk to us a little bit. We got election season coming up. We don't need to go into super detail, but just remind folks, of that portion of your role and what that entails. And then, anything that's coming up this election season that we should be on the lookout for.
Well, I think it is so important that we have integrity with our elections. And I'm going to tell you that there's eyes and ears on elections every day, all day. The director, Carol Beecher, is just cream of the crop, fantastic person, and the staff. I cannot speak highly enough of the Division of Elections staff. They have been working ever since the last election on making sure that all the forms are updated correctly. Anything that needs to be updated. They work on making sure the voter registration is updated, and that's a constant. They also have, they answer a lot of questions from people, and they help with some of the different local elections also. So they're busy. They're busy all the time, but we are gearing up for the big one in 2024, which, things like a voter pamphlet and all the things that need to be printed. And of course, a lot of things can't be printed until almost literally the last minute, because you don't know what names are going to be on there. But all the prep work is being done so that we meet every time requirement and that it's done right. So I think people can rest assured that there's fantastic, good people working in that division.
Yeah, for folks that do have questions, I think it's fair to call the Division of Elections and just ask. I know that I have questions from time to time. The last election cycle, I stopped in to the Anchorage office and had some real tough questions, and they were all answered. I think that we oftentimes forget that there's people behind these positions, just like
I'm so glad you said that, because there is only one place to get 100% accurate information about elections, and that is at the Division of Elections. And I think you're going to see us plastering their phone number and their email address, and ways to contact them. You're going to start seeing that more and more, and we welcome people calling. There's no question that's dumb, no question that's silly. Please call with any questions. We welcome that, but there is only one accurate, true place to get the information, and that is straight from the Division of Elections.
Wait a second, it's not Facebook?
No, no. There's often some very good things on Facebook, but then again, sometimes there's people with different motivations. They like confusion and that. So we don't like that in Division of Elections.
Yeah. You got that. I think that's a great thing to remind folks, and we'll put a link just to the Division of Elections in the description. So we have 2024 is coming up fast. Session's going to start very soon. Is there anything 2024 that you're looking forward to or hopeful that maybe has a chance of getting accomplished or looked at during this kind of 2024 political season?
Well, speaking of elections, there is a bill in the Senate right now that pertains to, I'm going to say, all things elections. It covers many things, and it never made it to the floor last year. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. I know that there's several members in the House who have some smaller bills on more of individual type items, whereas the Senate bill is like a great big shopping bag full of ideas. So we'll see what happens with that. And obviously, whatever laws the legislature passes, we will comply with.
Yeah.
People, hopefully people remember we don't make things up. We follow the law to the T. But as far as 2024, public safety is still going to be our number one priority. And I'm so proud to serve with the governor as he just continues to have that be, strong in the forefront. If we don't have a safe society and our families can't be safe, what do we have, right? So that is extremely important to us. There's education things that we'll hear about in the legislature that are important. We want our children to be educated and to have, good opportunities. Obviously, there's things with resources and other things like that really benefit the economy. I think that we'll probably end up hearing, a lot in that area. But it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. So you've had an awesome career. You're Lieutenant Governor of Alaska. What kind of advice would you give folks that are thinking about running for office or serving in a government role or volunteering on a borough board, or the list goes on, throwing their name in the hat? What kind of advice would you give to folks?
So my advice and what I say to people is that there's no job that's too small. Anything in the community that, where there's a board or a task force or commission, put your name in and get involved. Community councils are a great place for people to get involved. And then, cities have assemblies and boroughs have assemblies. All of those things are wonderful to be involved in. And, I never started, I'm going to call it a political career, but I never started my political career saying, hey, I want to attain a certain something. I wanted to help the community. I wanted to make changes for the better. And I always believe that, if we're willing to talk about it, we need to be willing to do it. And so I think people, evaluate your life, see what kind of time and commitment you can make, and look around and see the opportunities. I know, the governor has quite a few boards and commissions, which are all listed, online, and there are openings and people can see opportunities on there that they might be interested in, and it shows how to apply. Those are awesome ways. I mean, I know that, cities and boroughs have the same opportunities. So I would just suggest to people to just get involved, and, you don't necessarily have to aim for, some big job, because each opportunity will open up a door for something else. And the more you learn about that, the more you'll see another area that you can get involved in and make a difference.
Yeah. So how important is it for you to be able to work with both sides of the aisle? You obviously are the lieutenant governor for all parties. You're not just, I'm a registered Republican, you're a registered Republican, but you have to work with folks in the entire state. How important is it for you to find common ground with folks in the role that you're in?
That's so important. It's very important. I mean, I serve Alaskans. I don't serve a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, right? I serve Alaskans. And what somebody's party is not a question that gets asked in this office when somebody, a situation comes to us where we're able to help, or if I'm asked to speak at a group or something like that, I don't say, oh no, I'm not going to because we belong to different parties. I think that everybody needs to know what their core values are. And I think people shouldn't stray from their core values. But that being said, you need to be able to look at the other areas where you can find compromise, and places where you can meet in the middle on things, because that's how we solve problems, right? And once everybody knows what their core values are and what they absolutely can't bend on, then there's all these other things that we can work together on. And I find there's more that we can work together on than we can't. And I also find that if people are able to express their thoughts and express, their feelings and actions that they would like to see in a civil way, then you're able to talk about pretty much everything. It seems like when tempers or things get involved, I always say, don't take it personal and don't make it personal. And sometimes that's hard, but it's proven true over the last many years. I mean, it's just do the best you can. Don't take it personal. People are going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes, and we just do our best.
I like that. Well, 20 minutes has flown by in a flash. Any last minute thoughts, Lieutenant Governor? The floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much. Again, it's just really nice to be here. I'm so hopeful that anybody that's not registered to vote will get out and get registered, so when the time comes that they can vote. I'm hopeful that people will start educating themselves on the issues that are important to their community. And I'm hopeful that people are attending the legislative meetings that the senators and representatives are having statewide, so that they get to know their representative, but also they have a chance to be heard then. And I think that will really pay off for people if they do that kind of stuff in the interim, if something comes up and they need to communicate with their representative while they're in session.
I like that. Give us one more time the details of the meeting tonight. I'll put the link in the description so people can click out and find the number, but just give the 411 on what's going on.
Okay, so public comment period tonight, starting at 5:00, and the info is akenergyauthority.com. And this is an opportunity to make comments about the Energy Security Task Force draft report that has been out. It's online, and hopefully, and it's a larger document. So if somebody hasn't looked at it already, I mean, unless they're a really fast reader, they might not be able to get it read before 5:00, but they at least have a chance to skim the table of contents and see the areas that they're concerned about. But hopefully people will take advantage of the opportunity tonight.
Well, that's awesome. I want to encourage folks to tune in, whether that's is there going to be a Zoom link on that
yes
website?
There's a Zoom. Yeah, so even if they want to just watch and listen, that's fantastic too.
Perfect. So get on that website, folks. 5:00 tonight. Go listen and watch. And if you have a public comment, I'm sure the phone number is on the website that we're going to throw up there. It is a awesome way to get involved in the process of what does it look like for Alaska to have some sustainable energy practices. So Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much for spearheading that task force. I think that the governor picked the perfect person for that role. And we wish you nothing but success here at Must Read Alaska. And welcome back on anytime. And folks that listen, watch, or read Must Read Alaska, if you want to go to mustreadalaska.com and want to help keep the lights on, go to mustreadalaska.com. On the right-hand side, there's a little donate button. Every $5, $10, $100 helps keep the lights on here at Must Read Alaska. And until next time, I'm John Quick from somewhere in Alaska. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for coming on.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.